prepared yet.
You need to try and pick off the units as
Look at the shields on the Marks.
Oh my god, the ball is gonna take him.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to another matchup here in the Winners Round 1 for the IPL Season 2. That's right. I hope you are ready to come back for more because we've got more players, better action, more commentators, more content, all coming out of IGN.com/IPL. I'm DJ Wheat from OneMoreGame.tv. Happy to be a part of IPL Season 2, and we have got a matchup for you that will see Dignitas Merz, our Red Terran, spawning in the southeast, going up against his opponent. It is going to be Fnatic NightEnD, our Blue Protoss, spawning in the northwest. Now, Tall Dream Altar is going to be our first matchup of the evening, and I gotta say, in a TVP, very curious to see how this is going to play out, especially from the Protoss side. And the reason that I say that is because the nature in which Tall Dream Altar is created, you've got this small choke here at your natural, which is basically your only method into the opponent's main base. And we see a very popular style going around with the Protoss right now, which is get up that quick Nexus. So I'm curious to see if NightEnD will be going with some sort of a build that would have him putting up the neck. Now, I already know that that's not going to be the case because we've got the pylon right here. Additionally, we've got the supply depot going up for Merz at the front of his base. So we will be starting with a fairly standard opening here, something a little bit different than what we might typically see on Tall Dream Altar. So that's how it's going to go down. Gas going down for Dignitas Merz and Barracks as well, but neither of these players really going to be setting themselves up for any sort of quick expansion, and they'll likely find out very, very soon that, oh, hey, we're cross position. It might have worked for me. But you just don't want to necessarily take those risks, especially in a situation where if you lose, you're dropped down to the loser's bracket, and then your hopes could be crushed. So you got to be careful. We got the orbital coming out right now, and we have got over on the other side Gateway, and now the Cybernetics core going down for NightEnD. NightEnd's probe going out. Sorry about that. Mini Wheat getting a little bit too excited about the game here as we get started. So I had to shush the Mini Wheat. So he's been getting more and more enthusiastic about StarCraft 2 lately. Sometimes he just can't control himself, but that's okay. Like father, like son. Tech went down on the racks, and oh, I like this opening coming out by the Terran player. I don't know that he's necessarily in the best position for this particular opening to be ultra effective, but the whole idea is that you go with an early concussive shells. You've got the tech lab on the racks, which of course lets you do some different things if you want to get those initial units out, and then put another production facility on there. But we're going to get 2 Marauders and then concussive shells. Now, this could be a very, very effective early scouting squad. With the concussive shells, of course, slowing down any units that might come out from the Protoss. And right now, do we even have anything out for that? We have 1 Stalker making his way around the map right now, and this is exactly the type of thing that this build is made up for. If this particular group of units right here were to catch this Stalker, it would most certainly be its death. And with an unprotected Nexus going up at the natural, that could just be a downhill, a downward spiral there for the Protoss player NightEnD. But Merz being cross-map, I don't think that this particular little three-man squad is going to be able to do the damage that he wants to do. So the Stalker's just going to go ahead and stay up here on top. We're going to have another pylon made, Warp Gate research underway with a sentry on the way, and 2 more gateways being put down. Now here comes this little force. Let's find out how effective it might actually be, as we'll see that probe go down. Not even a chance. Marine moves forward, gets a couple of hits there on the Stalker, and this is where that Stalker has to be really careful. If he is taken out, and you know what, with 1 sentry, that is really, really scary. I think he could possibly actually do some denying of this expansion. The Nexus is about to complete. He's going to move forward. He does hit that Stalker. If that Stalker goes down, this is not going to be good. One force field is going down, but as you can see here, he's going to be able to take out this pylon while he also micros around and takes out the Zealot. And this is where that early concussive shell can be incredibly damaging. He's ignoring the Zealot completely. He's going to take out another Stalker. Will he go after the Sentry? He tries to, but that little assault is thwarted by NightEnD. A couple of Marines moving out there, but I don't think that the transmission got back home. It's like, guys, we didn't make it. Don't send more Marines. But anyway, they're sending more Marines. So 2 more Marines going to make their way out. He might actually go through the back, kind of position himself at the third, watch when that might come up. But I think that was just a miss rally, as now he's going to go ahead and move him out. Okay, the purpose, of course, to take the towers now. Got 2 more Marines going out. They could possibly take the tower as well. Probe is going to go scout around, and these Marines will deny any sort of pickup of those Xel'Naga towers. So there we go. Take that guy out. I know you want to be friends, but you got to be careful. Merz is going to put 2 bunkers here at his natural. You can see he's going to get another gas as well. Quite a few workers there on the natural, and in fact, Protoss way ahead on the worker count, 39 to 31. Of course, with the mules, you can see that the Terran still taking a full lead right there. Right now, the Terran putting down his factory now after getting 3 racks, 1 with the reactor, and then the tech lab, which is currently researching STEM, also has the early engineering bay. Going to go for a sort of bio-heavy with the upgrade style here. And we see this, pretty standard sort of Terran play. A lot of sentries coming out right now for NightEnD, but keep in mind he did lose those that Zealot and those 2 Stalkers early on. Going to throw down that robotics facility and also another in-base pylon for some scouting, as well as, you need those for supply. It's kind of important for the Protoss race. So what is going to happen is we also have the Twilight Council going down here and the Forge for the upgrades for NightEnD. But what is NightEnD going to go with? Will he go with Blink, which is typically what we see out of there? Is he just doing that so he can make sure he can go for the fast upgrades? Well, based off the fact that he put down the Forge and the Twilight Council at the same time, not really going to be for the upgrades. And there we see the Blink go out, and a great scan coming down from NightEnD. He's going to be able to see that it is being chrono boosted, so he knows that the Protoss is focusing not only on his upgrades, but also on that Blink ability. Which will obviously make them a much more effective army. See a few more Zealots out, not a whole lot of Stalkers right now, but more importantly, NightEnd's economy looking really, really sharp right now. SCV moving over, going to see if this third base is up. We have a Stalker in chase, and he is not going to be able to take out that SCV before he gets a clear view that, no, there is not a Nexus there. So we have the starport coming out. First medevac's going to fall, and I'm really curious to see if Merz is going to go for some drop play versus just straight up kind of attacking with his medevacs in play. His opponent will have Blink, which makes those drops kind of a scary thing to do. A good Stalker control with Blinks, of course, can shut down some pretty intense drops very easily. Got NightEnD with a pylon over here. Has not been discovered quite yet. 1 SCV moving out. He might be able to see it as he passes through. And yes, he will see it. Likely we'll see a reaction very quickly out of Merz to take out that pylon. Also, the Observer coming in now. Going to see the entire army and what he is currently dealing with. He'll back off. He doesn't want to get scanned and lose that Observer. And look at this, a hidden command center by Merz, and I absolutely love this right now. We talk a lot about the potential that this can, quite frankly, offer a Terran player, especially if it's something that is not scouted for quite some time. The third Nexus is going down for NightEnD, and yeah, so we'll watch this command center and see how exactly it will be progressing. The armory is going down. We already see the +1 armor now underway. A Ghost Academy coming out real quick, and there, of course, is the armory. So we have another probe making his way out, trying to check his vision here. Going to be denied as 4 medevacs now out on the field. And again, another possible great opportunity for drops, but that might not be the plan of Merz. And sometimes it's not so easy to just change up those plans. I did notice that Charge is under the way with a lot of Zealots being added up. Of course, that's a direct combo to the Marauders as well to try to limit their effectiveness. And double Robo going to be whipping out a lot of Colossus right now. Keep in mind the Terran does have the starport with the reactor, so of course he will be able to get Vikings out at a pretty accelerated rate, but you can't let the Protoss players' Colossus count get too high before you're actually getting those Vikings out. Otherwise, you'll find yourself just with not enough firepower. And oh, NightEnD saw all those SCVs moving over, and that might give away his expansion. There we do have a medevac loaded up. 2 Marines, 2 Marauders going through the top portion of the map. He could drop in the back, take out this pylon. He's going to see that there's obviously nothing here, and I don't know that he's going to want to drop in the natural, but we'll see. Actually, he's going to put himself down out here and heal his units up. Maybe he thought there might be a base there, but there quite frankly is not. One stalker moving out, and it looks like the Protoss army wants to start to get a little mobile here. Might be a good idea. Now, keep in mind, even without the Vikings, having those ghosts in your army is going to be a big thing for the Terran here. There's currently 1 ghost in play for the Terran player, and is he going to lift up and just completely drop? He's actually just going to use the Medevacs for vision, takes out 1 gas, not doing an enormous amount of damage here, but it's just kind of being harassing. What he's doing, though, is pulling out the Protoss army. Meanwhile, we have a dropship moving into the main here. A lot of probes moving over. He's already taken out 1 of the pylons. He's going to go ahead and start working on those gateways, and we are going to have a reaction in the middle. No EMPs thrown down quite yet, and wow, Merz is going to lose a lot of units right here as this Protoss army is going to be able to easily overrun it. Now we have nothing spawned in. Yes, there we have the Zealots spawned in, and against those Marauders, it's going to be a pretty, well, actually, with the Medevacs, it's going to be a done deal. 1 Marauder left over. Is he going to get healed up? No, and the Zealots will win. Now, NightEnD, knowing that he's got an advantage, knowing that he's got a huge unit advantage, he's going to move forward to go ahead and take out this hidden third by Merz. He's going to have all of his SCVs trying to leave and get out of there, and we are going to have a few of those torched on their way home. More importantly, a huge lack of units here by Merz. You can see right now he is supply boxed. He's at 154, while the Protoss currently sitting at 165. Another drop in the back here, but look at the amount of Zealots that just want to brute force, throw insults, whatever they can. Looks like they're going to move over. Hey, we've got some more Zealots over here that are ready to save the day. If we zoom in here, I bet you one of those guys has a Superman shirt on right there. I can't tell which one, but it's very possible. Medevac's going to be moving out right now. Looks like interception is in progress here by NightEnD. He's also going to be putting down another Nexus here. He blinks over to the side, but the Medevacs looked like they just wanted to park on the west side of the map. We are going to see this army now start to move out. Looking at his Viking count, he is up to 7. Going to throw an 8th one in there as well. Scans to take out the Observer, and that will make the Protoss player a little bit blind there. However, Protoss knows that he doesn't have his 3rd down. He sees the orbital flying over. A lot of long-distance mining going on. And in this dropship, there's only 2 Marauders and a single Marine. So it's not going to be something that he's got to worry about too much. I think right now this ground army is the most scary thing coming out of the NightEnD. But more importantly, the fact that he's now putting down a 4th base and a 4-base Protoss versus a 3-base Terran, and someone is Terran just now getting this base back up, having the last one destroyed. May not be so great of a thing. He's going to move into position. Oopsie, not going to work out so great. He will blink forward. Not going to be able to get a kill on either of those Medevacs, but thwarted once again. It's too bad that he's not also dropping on this side. I think there's a huge potential for damage. See that the Templar Archives with Storm is underway. Of course, that's going to be kind of a Terran answer to not only the huge bioforce that we're seeing, but also the fact that these ghosts are in play. A couple of Stalkers going to be moving out. Ghost going forward. And it looks like these Vikings really want to pick off one of these Colossus. But he's got to be careful. There's going to be the scan. Is he going to be able to get a volley off? 1 Colossus. Takes a lot of damage, but he does lose 2 Vikings because of it. He might choose to go around here. This is going to be a very crucial moment here for both of these players, as it looks like NightEnd's going to extend himself out and then comes back in, but will be able to set up to defend this 3rd. 1 pylon will be taken out. Is Merz going to go ahead and back off? No, he's not. He's going to go ahead and melt a lot of these Zealots. He takes out one of the Colossus. being very, very cautious about the Vikings here in this place. The force fields go down as well, and again, we see Merz's army almost completely devastated. All the Colossus are going to fall. No, they are not. Only one Viking is left over. That Colossus with 2 points of health. And these Marauders and Medevacs are just running for their dear lives here, trying to get away. NightEnD with 174 supply. The Terran with 135 back at home. All these guys, a few Marauders, trying to get his Viking count back up, but I think that NightEnd's just going to be able to waltz in here with this devastating Protoss army. In fact, you know what? He doesn't even need to waltz, and let's all take a moment and stop and write this down in our learning notebooks here for NightEnD. He could have walked right up and taken out his opponent. Instead, he's going to recheck this 4th. My guess is that he'll swing around, and since there's no planetary here at the 3rd, he can engage Merz's army and easily take this 3rd out, crippling his Terran opponent even more. But he's not even going to do that. He has High Templar with a lot of energy. Might just choose to go right in. Yes, he is going to choose to go around the side. Missile turret being put up there, but even that is not going to help out with just the one single Colossus account. The ground army is the much more scary force. There's not as many medevacs out. First storms will fall. 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th storm's going to fall down. And call the meteorologist. I don't know if he said it was going to be sunny today, but it was certainly a stormy day there for Merz. All of those Marauders are deeply, deeply hurt in the red, bleeding out of every single wound that has been inflicted here by NightEnd's Protoss army. And now that this 3rd has been taken down, he should be able to just slowly be able to push in here to the natural. He can reinforce with some more units as we have some more Templar coming into action, and he may want to wait for those Templar before he actually engages against this Terran army. Again, they'll be able to do a lot of damage. This group over here trying to get freed up, and there's going to be a storm giving a little bit of damage. Nice focus fire on the High Templar, but the storms have already done their damage. He's going to move forward. He's got to be very, very careful. Another storm falling down, and Merz just dancing inside of it. Medevac's not in position to be able to heal these units. A great position here from the Colossus as well, as they're going to take out all these SCVs, and there it is, GG, as game 1 will go to NightEnD. A very, very straightforward, I say even intense Protoss matchup, where the numbers and then ultimately the High Templar do their job, cut down the Terran one little fight at a time, and ultimately move forward, knock on his front door, bust in, say, yo, I've got a warrant, and I'm just going to ransack your entire base, and NightEnD wins game number 1. Coming up next, game 2 in this series between Fnatic NightEnD and Dignitas Merz for the IPL Season 2.